This is it. It finally came. The animated Super Mario Bros. Movie has officially come to theaters. After a bunch of hype, speculation, and delay, we can now go and see it. Now, just like everyone else, I was skeptical that Nintendo, while they are finally stepping into the movie business, they wanted to team up with Illumination to make the Super Mario movie, as Illumination is known to be making cheap and safe family-friendly films. But after they released the trailers, it actually caught my attention. So I went to see it with my best friend, and it was fantastic. For once, Illumination made a good movie since Despicable Me 1 and 2. As a super hardcore Mario fan, I actually have a blast watching it. It's not a masterpiece, but out of all the video game movies, this is definitely the best one we've seen. We obviously know what the plot is from the games, but they did mix it up in this movie. In Brooklyn, New York City, we follow the plumbing duo themselves, Mario and Luigi. They started their first plumbing business for the first time, but it didn't go so well. So they went down to the sewers to fix a big flood underneath the construction area, but they discover a giant green pipe. The pipe sucks them in and they get separated. Luigi ends up in the Dark Lands and Mario ends up in the Mushroom Kingdom. He meets a talking mushroom named Toad and the ruler of the land, Princess Peach. After learning that his brother has been captured by Bowser, the king of the Koopas, and he is coming to invade the Mushroom Kingdom with the superstar. So after a long day of training, the trio now explore the whole kingdom to stop Bowser, rescue Luigi, and save the world. If you were expecting that the story will be deep and take it serious at times, well, guess what? It doesn't do that. Because it's Super Mario, they don't have to make any complex stories from the franchise, except with the Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi games, which is one of the reasons why the critics went too hard on this movie. There are movies out there that have a simple plot that everyone can sit back and enjoy, something that the Shaun the Sheep movie did. The games themselves always have a basic story that everyone knows, and when they put that in an hour-and-a-half film, the execution is genuinely solid. They did keep the original source material and did not forget what the games were supposed to be. You can tell that the filmmakers are true Mario fans and they don't want to ruin it for their audiences who grew up with it. The movie brings a lot of surprises that even I thought it wouldn't happen. One of the movie's biggest highlights is the animation. It is beautiful. Now, one of the major criticisms people have with Illumination's animation style is that they're always the same, where it's simple and it plays it too safe. Now, I'm not going to try to defend this criticism because they don't go all out with it, and it's true. In my opinion, the only thing that they are good at with the animation is the lighting, but what they did for the animation and for this film is phenomenal. They really did bring the colors, the designs, the atmosphere, and the look of the world of Mario to life on the big screen. It really does look different from the other Illumination films. I love what they did with the character animation. It has a good use of squash and stretch, which the recent games used it too, such as Luigi's Mansion 3 and Mario Strikers Battle League. But we don't talk about that game. The characters also have some good facial expression that matches their personalities. The details in the textures are really neat, like how Bowser's skin is a little more green. While the character designs almost doesn't look exactly the same, like how Peach's head is bigger than her whole body, Bowser's looks a lot thicker and Mario's head is more rounded, but they don't have to look exactly like their original designs. I love what they did to the worlds that we're all familiar with from the franchise and make them tremendous. From the cheerful town and grand castle of the Mushroom Kingdom, the dark, evil atmosphere of Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road. Oh my god, I freaking love what they did with Rainbow Road, and it's one heck of a ride. Much like Mario Kart, it makes you really want to experience it in real life. And the action scenes are super fun when they use the power-ups to defeat the bad guys with this great fast-paced imagery. Another thing that I love is the musical score. Whenever we hear the familiar Mario tunes, it immediately makes you want to sing along, and they do fit in the mood for each certain scene. And the rest of the music is really good too. They even used a freaking DK rap when Donkey Kong was introduced. For someone who has never played Donkey Kong 64, it gives me a big smile when they played it. The comedy in this movie is also funny. It's not super funny, but it does give some good laughs. And for an Illumination movie, there's not a single immature or any child levels of humor to be seen. There's not even a moment where I felt bored or annoyed by any of the characters or any scene. The references from Mario as well as other Nintendo franchises are spectacular. The movie does add some heart-filled moments, and it's okay, but they're completely rushed, and I'll talk about that in a moment. The characters still have their personalities, even the new piece on some of them are a nice touch. Mario is the cheerful brave hero who wants to help people and a supportive brother. Luigi is still a coward. Donkey Kong is Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Yeah, that's all we need to know about Seth Rogen, but I actually do find DK to be funny. He is the goofball man-child who admires himself and the rival of Mario. It's actually funny to see the rivalry since the arcade and the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series. Toad? He's an okay character. He doesn't do a lot in the movie. He's pretty much the adventurer who wants to join in the journey. Princess Peach is more different than the one we know. Some fans have a problem with it and some fans like this change. I actually like it. Peach will always be the #1 damsel in distress. But in this movie, she is a strong, independent woman, which I know that it's an archetype that the writers don't know how to not make it so obvious. It's a good thing that Peach doesn't get kidnapped anywhere in the movie, but I do wish they would also kept her sweet, kind, and optimistic side of her personality. She still has that nice princess side while also having a strong independent side, and it's not super on the nose. And then you have Bowser. While he's not an intimidating villain, but he is a monstrous villain who loves being evil. But man, oh man, Bowser is the funniest character in the entire movie, more than Donkey Kong. Not only his motivation to take over the Mushroom Kingdom with a superstar, but with Peach by his side and he wants to marry her. He's such the biggest simp villain I've ever seen. There's one scene where he's playing a piano and sings a love ballad about Peach. In the ads, when they show him with a piano, I was like, oh my god, Bowser's gonna sing, isn't he? And he did. I can't stop laughing. It's even more funnier when his minions give him updates on Mario's journey. He gets more furious and jealous, thinking that she actually likes Mario more than him. And Jack Black clearly had a blast playing the character. Speaking of that, the voice acting is surprisingly good. When they revealed the voice cast, everyone in the internet find this to be a complete joke, except casting Jack Black as Bowser. At first I thought Chris Pratt as Mario is going to be a big disaster, but surprisingly he actually does a good job playing as Mario. He and Charlie Day didn't make an Italian accent throughout the film, and I'm okay with that. At least I don't get to hear Pratt's usual voice out of Mario's mouth. While it is sad that Charles Martinet, the original voice of Mario and Luigi, didn't get the main role, but his cameos in this movie is super perfect! Woohoo! Charlie Day is not that bad as Luigi. His voice fits perfectly to his personality.
You just got Luigi'd!
Keegan-Michael Key as Toad is not that bad either. I wish they could make him a little more funny. Like I said, Seth Rogen is Seth Rogen, but he still put up a decent acting as Donkey Kong. I don't know a lot about Anya Taylor, but she's good at playing Peach. So yeah, this movie has everything that I wanted, and it's a wonderful experience. But not everything has to be perfect, because there are a few problems that I have. The main problem I have with this film is the runtime. It was revealed that it's going to be an hour and 32-minute movie. A basic classic movie runtime, and watching it, it really does feel like an hour-and-a-half movie. I wish it was an extra half an hour longer. I wanted to see more things in this movie. Remember when I said that this movie has some heart, but it was rushed? Well, I think that's also part of the problem. As I mentioned, Mario doesn't have a deep story, but I expected it to have some character development. But because of this movie is an hour and 30 minutes long, They didn't have enough time to put in some heart. For a movie that's called the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Luigi doesn't have a lot of screen time. Thanks to the trailers, he doesn't get much to do other than the opening and the third act. You don't even get to see the entire chemistry between him and Mario to show that these two do support and need each other to show everyone that they do things on their own. There's one scene where Mario and Donkey Kong talks about their relationship with their dads and how they view on them what they do, but once they found a way to escape, it was never mentioned again. So I can kinda see where the critics are going, but this is Nintendo's first movie they ever did, so it's not entirely their fault. Another example is the ending. Well, I'm not going into spoiler territory, but let's just say that after the climax, the movie just ends. It ends. The last problem I have is while the soundtrack is awesome, but they also added 80s pop music, and I won't lie, they definitely feel out of place. I Need a Hero is the one song that I don't actually mind during the training scene, but the rest is unnecessary. In conclusion, the 2023 Super Mario Bros. Movie is a movie that managed to adapt the video games and turn it into a feature film that's worth waiting for any Mario fans. Is it better than the 1993 live-action Mario movie?
Name!
Mario.
Luigi.
Luigi?
There's three. There's Mario, and Luigi.
Definitely yes. Even though the story and the writing is good but a bit problematic, the film still has its gorgeous animation, creative imagination, fun and memorable characters with new additions that make them even more unique, amazing voice acting, thrilling action, and fan service that will make you smile. If you're a big Mario fan like me or a casual fan, then you will fall in love with it or find it solid. If you're an old school fan or just an ordinary moviegoer who wants to see it with your family, then you will enjoy it too. And for Illumination standards, yeah, I will actually watch it again if I'm in the mood. And to all the critics who find this movie bad, and to some of the fans who find this disappointing or mid, keep in mind that this is an Illumination movie. They're not like Disney and Pixar where they want to tell some interesting stories to appeal to everyone. They just wanted to make movies that's mainly aimed towards kids. But the animated Super Mario movie almost feels like that. But it was also made for those who grew up with this wonderful Italian plumber hero since 1981. As for the rating, well, I was debating on whether I should give it the Fireflower medal or the Star medal. Well, since I think it is an 8.5 out of 10 movie, I decided to give it the Star medal. So with that said, thank you all so much for watching. If you've seen the new animated Mario movie, tell me what you think in the comments below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.